You know she made me rock and roll again.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana, with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Welcome into Hometown Heartbeat this morning. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. Checking in with producer Connor and DJ Dallas. Producer Connor, how are we this morning?
Same emotion as always. A little tired, but we're here. We're making it. I feel like I say that every morning, but that's because it's always true.
You do. Oops, sorry about that. You do say that every single morning. It's okay, though. It is okay. Still got the buzz in his mic, so that didn't get fixed. Fantastic. How are you this morning, DJ Dallas?
I'm doing well. I got my pregame nap in, so
yeah,
we're ready to go, rocking and rolling this morning. Yeah,
like we were talking about yesterday. For those of you that aren't here with us every morning, so that'd be everybody but the three of us, because everybody else is in their bed sleeping. You beat me here every morning, but then you sleep on the couch.
It depends on the day, but I would say that happens a good amount.
No, every single day you're laying on the couch. Whether or not you go to sleep, I don't ever walk in there, and sometimes I hear your alarm go off, so I'm like, oh, he went to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if my alarm goes off, I'm asleep.
Is that a pretty good rule to live by, you think?
Yeah, because if I set my alarm, I know I'm going.
Yeah, that's probably why I said.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, thank you for just saying. I'm so glad you just said.
I guess if you hear it and I don't come in here, and then like the next couple minutes,
I need to come get you. Send a search party.
Maybe.
Give you the old hooty hoo. Let you know it's time.
Yeah.
That's
all I got.
That's the alarm call of Hometown Heartbeat. Hooty hoo. Just like that. It means come in here. You know how, like, Batman had a light. The newsmen had their gonk shell.
Their what?
In Anchorman.
Oh, I think I only watched one of them. I think.
That's the one. Well, there's only one that's really worth watching. So when he blows on the conch shell. Newsmen assemble, and they all think. So that's our symbol. Hooty hoo.
Will Ferrell's really hit and miss.
I think he's pretty much just hit.
He has some. I thought so, and then you go and look at some of the movies he's done that are not so good, and they're out there.
Like which ones? Let's talk about this.
The House was not that great. The one with Amy Poehler, it was all right, but it wasn't great. His Watson and Holmes movie, not great. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
No, I did not.
But then if you go to like the top.
So wait, hold on a minute. You said he's hit and miss, and you could only name two movies that weren't great.
I don't have like a list. I don't. Let me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely. Connor, bring it in here and join us. Are you a Will Ferrell fan or no?
No.
Why would that? What that was a very.
Well, I'm not much of a.
You don't like the laugh.
So, like, I don't know what Will Ferrell's been in. I don't know anything about him.
So you don't watch movies at all?
Not really.
So what do you watch?
Stuff on like online, YouTube. I don't know.
Okay.
I will say Step Brothers is probably my favorite movie of all time. So.
Yeah, want to go? Yeah. Yes, that's a great one. Connor, you need to make arrangements to see Step Brothers for sure. We could have a staff movie day. What do you think about that, Connor?
If you want to.
He's like, it sounds like torture. Connor, when do you go back to school, man?
Not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after, so the 17th.
That's coming up on us in a hurry.
Yeah.
Are you excited about coming in and producing this show and then going to school?
It'll be early. It'll be an adjustment, but hopefully I'm gonna try to work it out to where I can get a shortened school day. So
yeah, because this is your co-op.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get that worked out. If we can, that'll lighten the load a little.
I'm sure you can, because you were going to co-op with us anyway. So it was just going to be in a different context. So I'm sure they'll allow you to do that, huh?
They should.
I mean, this is the best work study you're going to do ever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's not very many high school kids that can say they're producing radio shows, live streaming, all that stuff. So I think you should be in good shape. You think the coronavirus is going to shut us down?
I'm still not optimistic about the prospects for staying reopened long term. I don't know that it's going to be quite as bad as it was the first go around, but I'd still expect to see some form. I don't expect to still be physically going into the school by like the beginning of October.
What do you think about football season?
I have no idea. I think that's totally up in the air. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep it around, but I mean, if the state comes down and says no, then that'll be all she wrote.
Oh, Meemaw's not going to do that. I saw an article yesterday. Across the country, state budgets are down by an average of 29%, and Alabama's tracking at like 18% down. So we're doing our economy is doing a pretty good job at not completely self-destructing. So, Meemaw with all her warts, she's done a decent job. So we'll see. I am not optimistic for football myself, simply because you've seen what happened to the Marlins. One person gets it. They say it. We talked about it from the beginning. We said, what are we going to do when somebody gets it for the first time? You're going to shut everything down and try to. If you're going to open stuff back up, if you're going to yada 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 yada, you've got to be willing to play the game with the virus, and so we'll see how it all goes. I don't think they're going to. I think they'll start college football. But have you heard this, Dallas? Have you heard this thing about this Power 5 concept? This deal they're trying to get done.
Just the main 5 conferences playing each other? Or?
No, so they've been thinking about or talking about for a long time leaving conferences, leaving the NCAA, because the NCAA has kind of become that overreaching government kind of a deal. And so they've talked about how and maybe it would be idyllic to have like the Power 5 kind of leave and do their own thing under the banner of the Power 5. So they would be like governed by, I guess, the president of the Power 5, not the president of the NCAA. They'd kind of create their own, what's the word? Not league, but you know what I'm saying, league.
Yeah, I mean the Power 5 schools are obviously the ones that are making the most money for the NCAA.
Well, that's the thing. Like nobody cares about no offense, Ivy Leagues. I mean, unless you're, really smart people, great, but you're not a football powerhouse by any stretch.
Yeah, like if it was any other conference or league of conferences, then nobody would care. But that's a big story. I don't think it'll happen though.
Oh, I think it will, actually, believe it or not. I think if there's ever been a time to do it, now's it.
That's a lot of schools that are going to have to all be on board with that. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot.
No, it's only 5. I'm kidding. See what I did there? I'm kidding. Man, there's a lot of stuff in the news this morning, too. I don't know. Not much of it is fun or good, except for Oprah.
What happened to Oprah? Or are we not jumping into that right now?
Oh, we can play it. I'll play it. We're going to have to play it multiple times.
Oh, this is what... Okay.
I was going to say, and then I'll let you answer it. White people, there are white people who are not as powerful as the system of white people, the caste system that's been put in place, but they still, no matter where they are on the rung or the ladder of success, they still have their whiteness.
Huh? Hold on. I didn't.
And then I'll let you answer it.
I don't understand that.
There are white people who are not as powerful as the system
there are
of
white people that aren't
the caste
powerful.
system that's been put in place.
The caste system. Wow.
No matter where they are on the rung or the ladder of success, they still have their whiteness.
But they still have their whiteness. What does that even mean?
I mean, she's not wrong.
No, you're right. They are still white.
I don't know what she'd
Connor,
like.
you're the smartest guy in the room. Now, I don't need you to comment necessarily on what she's saying, but can you kind of is there an intelligent way to understand this, or am I?
The way that I understand the argument that I think she's trying to make is that in society, you basically, any person could have a list of disadvantages or obstacles or whatever that they have to overcome. And race is perceived as a really, really big potential obstacle if you are not white. So not having or being white basically eliminates one critical obstacle from anything. Now, you might still have a laundry list of other disadvantages, but no matter what, you're not going to have that one really resounding one. That's the way that I understand the argument she's trying to make.
Okay. That at least makes sense. I think that's probably a good translation. What do you think, Dallas? You think that's I don't know if there's any other...
Yeah, there's not really any other way you can look at it.
We'll dive into this a little bit when we get back. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host, checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas. 15 minutes past top of the hour. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is a premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money, from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in producer Connor, DJ Dallas. When we left, we were talking about, but you still have your whiteness. This Oprah Winfrey story / quote, it's puzzling, to say the least. But Connor summed it up for us in a way that maybe is as best of a description as we're possibly going to get. And so with that, we let it go. I don't even know what else to say about that. Apparently, just you're just so privileged, Dallas. You're so privileged. In other news and better news, protesters are suing the city of Seattle. This is unbelievable. Claiming they need expensive protective gear to demonstrate safely. This is a real lawsuit. A group of protesters has filed a lawsuit against the city of Seattle, claiming the police department's anti-riot tactics have forced demonstrators to buy prohibitively expensive protective gear in order to continue to enjoy their First Amendment rights. Oh, man. Is this real life? Dallas, you're not going to give me any help there. You didn't even hear what I said.
You said that was it in Portland? The Portland
oh
protesters.
my gosh. He's not even paying attention
our show. I was working on, you're
Dallas.
Right. So some protesters
Dallas.
are asking for equipment.
They're suing the city of Seattle. Suing them.
So they're in Seattle. Gotcha.
Yeah. They're complete different state altogether.
Sorry. I'm not. Okay. Well.
Wake up, Dallas.
Well.
You only thought Sleepy Joe was bad. We get Sleepy Dallas.
I don't really know. Like, they can't win this, can they? Do they have a shot?
I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it very seriously. But then again, it is Seattle.
They're going to give them riot gear?
I guess. So they can fight fair with the police.
It's got to be equal on both sides. So
Got to be.
Give them, rubber bullets and riot shields and let them go.
Did you see the meme I put out yesterday?
No.
34 people died in Chicago this week from COVID gunshot wounds. They will be voting by mail.
That's fair. I'm worried about these. If they shut down the polls and we do these mail-in ballots,
They won't.
I'm a little worried. Not gonna lie to you.
They won't do. Mail-in voting will never take. I don't think. I don't know. What do you think? The smartest listening audience on the radio. What do you guys think? I'm sorry, I can't talk English as hard. Give us a call, 1-866-494-WVNN, 1-866-494-WVNN. Are you guys, what do you think? Do you think that we will, you think mail-in voting will ever take? Connor, what do you think? Do you think it's possible that mail-in voting actually becomes a thing?
Yeah, I don't think it's as scary of a thing as some are making it out to be. I think it's a perfectly viable alternative to in-person voting.
I'm sorry, what?
There's no widespread data that indicates that it's it's significantly prone to fraud.
Okay. In the next segment, we educate Connor on the widespread data that signifies mail-in voting is very much prone to fraud. What about ballot harvesting?
What?
What about ballot harvesting?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's something that has been pretty widespread in the areas where they've tried mail-in voting, where they basically harvest ballots of deceased and whatever else people and use. There was some hundreds of thousands of harvested ballots in California, and I mean it is pretty. And I'll find the data to support my position, and we'll have a whole segment on this because it sounds like we need to have a segment on this. If you think that mail-in voting is I think, to quote you, a perfectly viable alternative to in-person voting, because it's just that is not the case, unfortunately. I wish it was, but the problem is that with anything else in this world, and I think in your time here with us, you've learned to see things in a different way in a lot of areas, but it's corrupt. Like, if corruption exists as a place or as an opportunity, it will become corrupt. And so mail-in voting, it just finds itself being so wide open to corruption that if you don't think that it would be used by either party in November to change the election, then you're not. We gotta dive into that a little bit more, because I would say that would be an inaccurate way to look at it. But that's just me. So we've got phone calls coming in. We're about to jump over here to the phones. We're stacking them up right now. So they're calling. Dallas is getting everybody on hold and ready to go. But I'm trying to look up some data on that. Connor, you should look up data on it too, and then we'll fight and we'll see who wins. On line 5, we've got Barry. Barry, bring it in here.
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
We're good, Barry. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I think it's best left up to the Attorney General. He said it best, I think, everybody. He said that if they go to mail-in balloting, he said there's no way we can legitimately cover anybody that's voting because there's no voter ID. So he said China could be voting and we wouldn't know it.
No,
so he said that's the bottom line.
And it's hard. I mean, it is hard to track origin and understand origin of ballots and authenticity of ballots. I mean, we have to show, in our state, we got to show our ID when we go to vote. How do you guarantee that level of what's the word I'm looking for? Authenticity or accuracy when you go to mail-in voting. On line 1, we got John from Elkmont. John, bring it in here, big guy.
Yeah, Zach. I've been working with some of the folks in the state legislature, senators, so forth, to have a bill, and it's very easy to do. It's just like a no-brainer. It's sitting right there in front of us to help stop this business of dead people voting. When you process, a probate judge processes the deceased person's property, and it goes to the heirs. Before those heirs, or before that, the will can be processed. Then, or as it's processed, part of the process is go over to the election office and take that person's name off of the election rolls. And the senators, everybody's agreed to it. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer. It should have been done already for years. But I haven't gotten, and I hadn't been introduced yet. I'm thinking about writing it and say, here, take this before the legislature.
Sure. Yeah. No. You should do that. I mean, that's always good to get involved and get your get your views out there and let the legislature do its thing. As I'm looking through these voter fraud statistics and such, I find myself really disappointed in a lot of the ways that a lot of this stuff is written, because it's written in a way that it's all propaganda headlines and this and the other, and it's like I just want to find some unbiased statistics on voter fraud with mail-in voting, and it's literally impossible to do because every single headline in and of itself is so skewed one way or the other that you can't see through it. But we're going to find it. We're going to find it, by God. We're going to find it. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker. We will be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
In uncertain times, you can be certain of this. The Salvation Army is serving those most in need with help and hope. Thanks to your donations, the Salvation Army is helping those affected by COVID-19, those who've lost wages, who have no home to retreat to, who need food, help with utilities, and most of all, hope. To see how you can continue to make a difference, visit givewestwood.org, givewestwood.org.
100 tons of the explosive ammonium nitrate was being stored in a warehouse near the scene. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The White House is eyeing taking executive action if lawmakers can't reach a stimulus aid deal to help Americans struggling during the pandemic. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says Republicans and Democrats are to reach agreement by the end of the week to permit a vote next week on a stimulus bill. I'm John Trout.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is a premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay informed and entertained all day long. Only on WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host, checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas. Producer Connor, it is very difficult to find statistics. Are you finding the same difficulty?
I mean, if you're trying to prove that there is not a lot of fraud with mail-in ballots, I mean, it's hard to prove a negative, but there are plenty of experts that seem to be saying that it's any voter fraud is rare, and yes, maybe there are some more vulnerabilities in the mail-in system, but on the whole, it is not the recipe for fraud that some are painting it to be.
I would say that it's absolute. Vulnerability is the recipe for fraud, wouldn't you say? I mean, if you have the ability for, like, if there's this huge gap in the system, and there's this huge opportunity for someone, should they choose to be a bad actor, right? I'm not saying because both the left and the right have their own, they all have their flaws, okay? But if there's an opportunity for either party to use a loophole or kind of twist the system in their favor, have they demonstrated in the past frequently they will do so, in your opinion?
I mean, I guess, but I'm not talking about like huge gaping vulnerabilities. I'm talking like there are maybe a few weak points that need to be improved, but there are still security measures.
What would you say would be the weak points?
Let me see. I was reading an article about it here. I have all these tabs open.
Where's the article? Yeah, make sure you cite your source.
This, I think, was a New York Times article.
Throw it out.
Why?
Oh, are you kidding me? It's literally one of the most biased websites on the internet. I'm not gonna cite Fox News either, because they're equally as biased in the other direction. I'm trying to find
Well, then who do I cite?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to find some third party, non-biased, fact based. Because the reality is, there's nothing the New York Times prints that's based in fact. It's all based in it's become a big opinion piece or an opinion site, and so I'm trying to find I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even know if I'd trust, I definitely don't trust NPR. Here's one on USA Today, but it's an opinion as well. And so I think that there's a reason why There's a reason why across the nation, across the world, mail-in voting is not widely used. Mexico tried it, and it was a disaster. They had huge fraud numbers. Absentee ballots is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that, where that is a necessary part of our system. But what I'm saying is there are, let's see here. Nevada estimates that 90% of ballots mailed to inactive voters will be returned as undeliverable. So you've got 28. Let's see. From 2012 to 2018, there were 28 million ballots mailed but never returned. So technically, you need to return those ballots if you're not going to use them or you're not whatever. And so now there's 28 million ballots over the course of 6 years that were just floating around. That if somebody wanted to, they could have used improperly. I would say that's a pretty gaping hole.
What article are you looking at? Let me pull this up.
It's on USA Today, and it is an opinion. Don't get me wrong, but those numbers are not an opinion.
What's the name of the article? So I can
let's see. Widespread voting by mail poses risk of disenfranchising voters and delaying election results. There's also a case in New York, I believe, right? Didn't they do some kind of? Didn't they recently do something like that? And they're like 6 weeks after the election, and they have no idea who won. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, it would be, and this isn't saying this. I'm not saying this. This is just funny, almost. Like, can you imagine what would happen if we had mail-in voting and Donald Trump? Nope. I didn't lose. And you got Joe Biden. I won. And then it would just be a circus. A circus. And that doesn't mean we should or shouldn't do anything. I'm putting myself in that position laughing because it would be hilarious. But there's a lot, I don't know, man, there's a lot of information out there that says there's, excuse me. Connor, can you hear me? Oh, I guess he killed your mic. There you are. Go ahead.
I'm back. Okay. The one thing that you find over and over is that any instance of voter fraud, be it mail-in or in person, is on such a small scale. Because
that's because you've never had large-scale mail-in voting.
But no, you got to understand, all of these, like, the national presidential election is just a ton of local elections that all have their own systems and whatnot that they go through. You would need a massive coordinated effort across all these different jurisdictions with all their different systems and all their different security measures and all this stuff.
Agreed.
So to coordinate something big enough to actually, like, yes, I will concede in any voting system that you do, whether it be in person or mail-in, there will be fraudsters, there will be bad actors, but there are so few of them that it would be virtually impossible for them to sway an election. And if they did get so big and coordinated, they would almost surely throw up red flags and get caught and be charged with crimes.
Like Hillary was? Oh, wait. I mean, and what I'm trying to say is this. Like, I don't disagree with you. I think there is a way. Technology has created so many opportunities for us. We should be able to find a way to securely do some kind of voting that doesn't require you to go somewhere. I am all about that, trying to figure that out. But until they can verify, like, I want every legal vote to count. And I want one legal vote to count for every person who's alive, paying taxes, whatever, that's legally able to vote and wants to vote. Like, I'm all about the concept. I don't have the idealistic view that hopefully that there won't be some widespread fraud. And I believe that there will be if we do mail-in voting. We got Dan from Madison on line 3. Dan, bring it in here, big guy.
Well, listen, now you're in my expertise. Neither rain nor snow or dead of night will stop my appointed rounds. I can tell you any kind of postal question will be answered if you ask it. I know all.
Okay, so mail-in voting, does it present a humongous, dangerous security risk for voting fraud?
Yes, it does. There's many. Well, first off, we're having issues with the Postal Service. I mean, it's not only Amazon, it's just very difficult. I don't know why it is, but maybe just we don't have enough people to push the mail anymore. It's difficult just to get anything to anybody. It's difficult. Now, fraud-wise, yeah, you can get your fraud. You're going to have fraud. When I sort mail, sir, actually, I don't even sort by number anymore. I sort by name. Every customer, I know every house and every name and every house.
So have you? I mean, I guess in your view, from somebody who works in the postal system, what is your biggest concern with mail-in voting?
Well, first off, let's say a real ballot that needs to get where it needs to get to. And this, I'm not trying to disrespect my fellow workers, but there's carriers that actually don't know the route. It might be their first day on it because they're substituting for a carrier that's been doing it for as long as I have. It might not get to the proper address just because it doesn't have the proper address, and they don't go by name, which I do. So therefore, things would get done correctly because I go by name, and other carriers don't because they don't know the route.
No, I understand that completely. I am trying to reason with young Connor here because I once viewed the world the same ways, and it's just, again, widespread fraud, and he made a good point. It would take a large scale coordinated effort. Well, we've seen other countries make large scale coordinated efforts to interfere in elections. We've done it for years in Central America. It wouldn't take much for a large scale coordinated effort, I believe. Dan, thank you. Connor, do you have any questions for Dan before we? Dan's gone. We lost him. Do you have any questions for Dan, Connor, that he can call back in if he needs to?
I do not. No.
You do not. No go. Eric is calling my cell phone as opposed to the radio station. Eric, if you're listening, you need to call the radio station, 1-866-494-WVNN. We're gonna go to break. We'll be right back. Hopefully Eric from Madison, or Eric, will call in and we'll have a chat with him. But we're talking about mail-in voting. We'll talk more about that when we return.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is a premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said, but our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor, and I almost said producer Connor instead of what it's early. It's Monday, right? DJ Dallas. We've got Eric on line 5. His friends call him E, and he will be my guest co-host on Friday morning. We're super excited to have him. Eric, bring it on in here and share some of that wisdom with us.
Hey, what's going on, big, beautiful host, Zach?
Oh, man, I don't know it. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. God's given me another day, and I'm thanking him for it.
Come on.
Hey, I was calling because I heard you all talking about voter fraud. Now, I'm from the Chi. That's Chicago, for those who don't know. And back in the day, there was a mayor called Richard Daley.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about the son. I'm talking about the dad. And voter fraud, man, people from the grave were voting. Voter fraud, it doesn't take the Democrats have this thing already set up. You remember the hanging chads with Al Gore? They have this thing already set up. It's a system, a machine. That's why they want the mail-in votes. They already have ballots on pallets set up to give Biden as many as he needs. And it doesn't have to come completely nationwide. It can come, say, for instance, out of a Democratic district in Florida. For instance, it is this is something that they have been doing for years. And look up Richard Daley, and I'm telling you, the things that he did. He was mayor of Chicago for like 40 years. I mean, the Chicago system that he created, as far as voter fraud, it's unprecedented. And the guy that ran Al Gore's campaign back then, his last name was Bennett. He was from Chicago. He helped that whole voter fraud system. And so Bennett was what's the name of the educational czar for Ronald Reagan, his brother.
No, you're right. I mean, that's a good point, Connor, that he made. I mean, you don't have to have some widespread systematic system of voter fraud to change the election. You may only have to swing one state. I mean, literally, you may only have to swing one state to win this election. It's going to be, I mean, Trump is his poll numbers are going through the roof right now, and everybody's freaking out about it. They're trying to cancel the debates. They're trying to do everything they can to get this guy out of the public eye. But one state worth of fraud, one district in one state would be enough potentially to sway the election. And
there you go.
Man, can you imagine, Eric, what it would be like because that was one county in one state with the hanging chads. How many weeks did that go on?
I mean, what? Few months.
Yeah, 2 months. 2 months. We didn't know who the president was. Can you imagine what that would be? Can you imagine what that would be like if it was nationwide?
Trump is not exaggerating. He's not lying when he says that about the mail-in voting. I mean, it could go on for months, and the way things have been going on unprecedented of late, it can go on freaking half of the year.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, Eric. Thank you, as always, for your call. We are excited. Eric will be joining us Friday morning to guest co-host with us, and it's going to be a good time. He and I we had a conversation after the show the other day, and he's an incredible guy. Great voice of wisdom, and so we're excited. It's going to be a blast. If nothing else, you can't tell he's got a lot of energy. I've got a lot of energy. Friday morning is going to be a pretty solid show. We also need to mention again that have you guys ever instantaneously regretted an idea you've had? Because I find myself a little bit fearful for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we're counting down.
Yeah,
the hours.
I know you are. She asked me about that last night. She said, "Why was Dallas so excited?" She was like, "He thinks I'm going to take his side." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I know that's." I tried to tell you.
Okay.
I told you.
You said she'd jump in.
She'll definitely jump in, but she's going to jump in on you just as much as she jumps in on me. I have a feeling.
No, I'm scared.
You should be. No, you should be terrified.
Okay.
Yeah, not equally as terrified as I am, because she doesn't know everything about you in the way that she does me. But my wife is joining us tomorrow morning at 6, and may be the worst idea I've ever had in my entire life. For the married men out there, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll see how that goes, but we've got a solid week lined up for you guys the rest of the way. Wyatt Reed has joined us in studio. Wyatt of Reed Family REI. We'll be spending the next hour discussing whatever we want to talk about, really. It's just kind of, he texted me last night. He was like, so should I do any prep, or what, is there some questions? And I was like, no, man. We're just going to have a conversation. He was like, okay, cool. So we don't really know what we're going to talk about or where we're going to go, but we're going to tell you how to buy real estate, how to sell real estate. We're going to talk through some of that stuff because it's something you guys have asked for more of. And so we're going to give you that. To kind of end our discussion on voting fraud and mail-in voting, Connor, do you understand what he I mean, obviously you understand. I don't mean to doubt, but what he was saying about how easy it is for this thing to be swayed. Again, I don't know that I don't want to argue with you on whether or not there is. I mean, you agree there's potential for fraud within the mail-in system, and if we understand that literally one district or one county of one state could potentially swing the election, does that give you a little bit more pause, anyways?
It would if I truly believe the election was that close, but I don't.
You don't believe it's that close?
No.
Which way do you believe it's going?
I've been looking at polls, and it looks pretty promising for Biden right now, I'll be honest.
Well, it looked really promising for Clinton in 16.
No, this is more than her margin, double.
That's not what yesterday it was only
polls by
7%.
Yeah, today it's it's been 10 on the 538 average that I look at, because it aggregates all the polls. I think Clinton led by maybe 5 on election day. So.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't think Biden has a shot.
Okay, want to put some money on that?
I think
sure.
I think if he does a debate, I don't think he has a shot either. I
think he's going to have to do a debate. I think the people are going to. I mean, we have a right as Americans to see the candidates that we potentially. I mean, that we don't look. They give us candidates that we have to vote. I mean, we have to make a choice between what they give us, and when they give us, chicken poo, we've got to make chicken salad. And quite frankly, we deserve the right to see them go toe to toe and stand up and articulate their points and their platforms and stuff like that. And so I think there absolutely will be a debate.
I think if there's a debate, Biden doesn't have a chance.
No, I think it, and there's a lot of numbers out there, Connor, where the you're not seeing the excitement. He's not moving any of the Democrats happening in individual states, and a lot of that is the biggest key in an election is voter excitement or enthusiasm, and you're not seeing much enthusiasm for Biden. Obviously, I mean, I don't care one way or the other. We all know what I think about Trump, and I think he's an idiot, and I think he's got his warts, but I think that it is that close, and I think that they're scared, and I think that 7% is what I saw yesterday, and that was on a very liberal site, and so the numbers are very quickly skewing the other direction, and so I do believe it's going to be that close. But I mean, if we can agree in a hypothetical world where the election will be that close, then mail-in voting is scary, because if it is that close and one or two states is enough to make a difference in the election, then we both agree that the fraud opportunity exists, certainly, for that to happen, correct?
Maybe under the current system, but I think that there are security measures we could put in place.
I agree with that.
Ensure a fair election, even if it were to be that close.
No, I think that and I'm glad you said that, and that's where we'll land on this debate. But I definitely believe that there are ways we could make mail-in voting a whole lot safer and make it work. But in the current iteration, that's not what we have. That's not what we have to work with. So we are 1 minute to the top of the hour. Wyatt Reed of Reed's Family REI joins us when we come back.
Huntsville's #1 news, talk, and weather station. WVNN Athens. WVNN FM Trinity. A Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock.
Explosion rocks Lebanon. Executive action on stimulus. I'm John Trout. A national day of mourning is declared in Lebanon. Dozens are dead, thousands injured after Tuesday's major explosion in Beirut. With White House reaction, here's John Lawrence.
President Trump offering condolences after Tuesday's deadly explosion in Beirut.
The United States stands ready to assist Lebanon. We have a very good relationship with the people of Lebanon, and we will be there to help. It looks like a terrible attack.
Lebanon's prime minister says at least 2,700 tons of the explosive ammonium nitrate was being stored in a warehouse near the scene. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The White House is eyeing taking executive action if lawmakers can't reach a stimulus aid deal to help Americans struggling during the pandemic.
The White House now weighing whether to take executive action if stimulus aid negotiations stall in Congress. A White House official saying if something isn't reached by the end of the week, we don't want to see it go for another week.
I may not have to sign. Progress is being made, as you know very well, in the Hill.
The progress made in Tuesday's closed-door negotiations, still no deal. The price tag House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is eyeing $3.4 trillion, which Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin is blasting as ridiculous. At the White House, I'm Whitney Wild reporting.
Asian stock markets are mixed amid investor concern about the status of U.S. stimulus spending and a trade agreement with Beijing. In Tuesday primary elections, Republican Senator Martha McSally and Democrat Mark Kelly have secured their party's nominations in the Arizona race to finish the late John McCain's U.S. Senate term. It sets up a heated contest between two former combat pilots for perhaps the most expensive and spirited Senate races of 2020. I'm John Trout.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining Medishare right now. Medishare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medishare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medishare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 27 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second. And if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 844-91-BIBLE. That's 844-91-BIBLE. 844-91-BIBLE.
It's the Jeff Poor Show.
What they are suggesting is all this you're seeing with these protests and Trump sitting in federal authorities to protect federal property like a courthouse. If you can make it there to Portland, Oregon, and see the graffiti on a federal courthouse. If Copper and I went down to downtown Huntsville and started putting graffiti on the post office, federal authorities come after us. They'd make an example out of us. Well, if they attempt to do that in Portland, it's seen as a secret police plot to keep Donald Trump in office. Guys, I got to tell you this, a little secret. If this is all true, what we're being told, the elections don't matter. Donald Trump's going to be dictator. If we are to believe what people are telling us, that Donald Trump is going to resist being removed from office if he loses the election, it won't even get to that point. Because he will go and he'll do like they do in third world countries and stuff a ballot box or something. I think it's absolutely an absurd notion.
Weekdays 2 to 5 p.m. Only on WVNN. Depend on it. It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. 4 minutes past the top of the hour. I am your big, beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor DJ Dallas, joining us in the studio. One of our new advertising partners and a good friend of mine, Wyatt Reed of Reed's Family REI, and the real estate investors. And he, wanted to come in and introduce him to the fine listening audience of the smartest show on the radio. Wyatt, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a little
doing
early.
Pretty good. He says it's a little early, and we've been up for 2.5 hours. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to have you on as an advertising partner here with the show, and more importantly, I'm glad to have you on the show with us because what we're going to talk about is something that's very, in fact, when you started this journey, I remember a day when you came to my office and we sat down and talked through what it is what does it mean to do what you do and now, so I don't know, let's tell the people a little bit about what it is that you do. So you guys buy properties and then turn them into investments either through renting them or flipping them. What segment are you focusing on right now?
We started out focusing on rental properties, but here lately we've been getting into a lot more flips.
Flips are a good way to convert to cash pretty quickly, whereas your rental properties are more about that cash flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All about that cash flow, straight cash, homie. As my favorite wide receiver says. That's a Randy Moss quote for those of you that don't know that. Anyways. So Reed Family REI, you guys are trying to buy distressed properties or not distressed properties, you're just trying to buy properties. Yeah. So what is it that you're looking for? Kind of tell, because people listening right now are like, I've got a house I'd like to sell. And so what is it that that you're looking for a criteria to make a purchase for your particular use?
Yeah, so we're not. It doesn't matter if it's run down or if it's just needs to be sold. We're trying to help people get out from under houses that say they don't want to pay the 6%. They don't want to.
Oh, no real estate commissions. Come on.
They don't want to pay closing, and they have some stuff that, if they had to list it with an agent, then it would need to be fixed up, right? So we don't want them to have to deal with anything. We want to do it all for them.
Oh, you mean a turnkey experience?
Yeah.
I'm all about a turnkey experience. I will pay more for a turnkey experience. The hassle is really all the stuff that goes around it. It's never, think about Disney World, for instance, unless you're going to sink in the boat there on the log ride. Did you hear about that, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, there's a boat that sank at Disney World in one of their rides. So I was making a bit of a joke there. But no, it's the turnkey experience is the key because you take all of your hassle and you just put it all up into one little, and then it handles all of it. So what area are you looking in geographically speaking?
I'm anywhere between Huntsville and Nashville right now.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Big area there.
Yep. we got some stuff going on in Centerville, and we're looking at Chattanooga and Knoxville and stuff like that too. So
I'm gonna need you to get a little bit more excited. You're on the freaking radio, Wyatt. Okay, and we're gonna need to pump this up a little bit. I'm gonna have to go get him a cup of what was it called? The world's strong. What was it called? Death Wish coffee. Yeah, we got some Death Wish in there. It says it'll kill you. We all drank some. It did not kill us, but it is pretty good coffee. So we'll get some of that in you and get you cranked up. But how did you get into this, man? Because I think the most important thing right now is, I mean, I'm a real estate investor. You're a real estate investor. We know a lot of real estate investors, and honestly, like, I mean, you're a better person than I am. But I was just a dumb schmuck with a dream and an idea, and here we are. Can you believe this? Here we are sitting here talking on the radio about our real estate investment businesses. So, how did you get into this? I mean, what made you decide to do this?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I came from a manufacturing background. I've been in a plant since I was 19, right? Still am. So I've always felt like there's something more out there for me. You know, my family owns their own restaurant, so they're kind of entrepreneurs too. And I kind of got excited through a couple of YouTube motivational gurus.
Which ones?
Let's see, what was it? Chris Crone.
Yep.
He got me fired up, but I didn't want to send him money. So something about being in California and sending money from Tennessee is weird for me. But
a lot of that education you pay for, you got to be careful with. You got to be real careful with it, because there's a lot of folks out there just take the money and run.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I do think that I wouldn't be where I am right now without it.
No doubt. You just have to find the right one, and that's what it's all about. Really, is you've got to find somebody to help you walk through the process. And so I'm certainly not saying don't go get coaching, but you just got to be careful, because on the internet right now, you can buy whatever you want from whomever you want, wherever you want, and the odds of you seeing anything from it are.
Yeah.
And so anyways, your family owns a restaurant. So you just decided to jump into this. How long did it take you from the time you decided you want to do this to buy your first property?
I think it was, so I started reading and educating myself in December of 18. And then I think in around March, that's when I started doing the coaching. And 3 months into the coaching, I had my first deal.
Boom.
So it was crazy. I wasn't seeing anything from educating myself, and then once I stepped into that, it was eye-opening, right?
Sure. And so what this says is that everybody listening, the smartest audience on radio, is that you can do this. Like you can. That's one part of this. The other part of this is like we want to talk through what Reed's Family REI can do for you, but the other part of this is we're not going to do an hour-long ad or whatever, because it's less about that and more about educating. What I like to do on the show, Wyatt, and of course, I know that you listen every single day to the entire show without ever missing one. But I'm kidding. But what I do like to do is take the life experience that's out there of mine and of those around us and really take that and give that to our listening audience, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that are driving to work right now saying under their breath, I just wish I could be a real estate investor. I just wish I could go buy a rental property. Or they want to, or whatever. And what I'm hearing you say and what I've lived and what we've both lived is, no, you really can. Like, you really can do it. It's really not that hard. It's just a matter of getting educated, like you said, being smart, because you will lose your shirt if you're not careful. So, Wyatt, you gotta have a bunch of money to do this, right?
Absolutely not.
Have you used your own money yet?
A little bit, but you don't have to use very much of it to get started. For the most part, like 5-10% maybe.
Yeah, that's a very small number when you're talking about that, and you can do it in such a way, like the way that we've done it and the way that you do it is different. And like we pay cash and pay cash renovations and sell because that's what we're at and that's what we do. But there's 100 different ways to go about this that allow you to be more risk averse and whatever else. So, how many properties you got going right now?
So we had 4 rental properties and 1 flip going before July. And July hit, and we got 3 flips under contract. Boom. Sold 3 of our rentals turnkey, and we got 2 duplexes under contract.
Sounds like he's making moves right there.
Yeah.
That's boss. He's a boss. I'm bossy. Anyways, by the way, I'm playing baseball in a men's league thing at Trash Panda Stadium on Saturday, and I'm picking my walk-up music, and I think I'm going to go with Bossy. Back from like 2002, you know what I'm saying? Go old school hip hop and R&B is the way to go. I think people will probably think it's quite funny, which is indeed my goal. But anyways, so we're checking in here with Wyatt Reed of Reed's Family REI, talking about real estate investing and how you too can do it. We want to talk to you if you have questions about what does it take to get involved in real estate investing, or you are a real estate investor, or you've got a house that you just don't know if it's, hey, what is Wyatt looking for? Give us a call. 1-866-494-WVNN, 1-866-494-WVNN. We want to help you understand what it looks like to be a real estate investor. If you have questions, like I said, or you just you want to know, man, what I want to do that sounds fun, or anything else you've got, or you just want to give us a traffic report on 565, we'll take that too. But we've got Wyatt Reed in studio here, Reed's Family REI. So your whole family, it's a whole family affair, huh?
Yes, yeah, we're all.
I saw you and your wife masked up, going in all masked up, COVID-free protection. I've been wearing a biohazard suit personally, but that's just, it's just my over-the-top personality, Wyatt. But has the COVID affected your business at all?
No, like I said, last month was our best month since we've started, right? So. We have to wear a mask now when we go look at houses for the most part, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, there's not a lot that's changed for a lot of businesses out there. A lot of businesses have been very negatively affected, and that may mean that you're in a situation where you've got a house you don't want to pay for anymore, or whatever. They can certainly help you alleviate that burden. But you're listening to Hometown Heartbeat here with Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. We got Wyatt Reed of Reed's Family REI here in the studio with us this morning. Producer Connor, DJ Dallas checking in 14 minutes past the top of the hour. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is the premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL, so 256-BUYSELL.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio, every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas. Joining us in studio, Wyatt Reed of Reed Family REI. They want to buy your house. And we've been talking about real estate and real estate investing and how if two good old boys like us can get into real estate investing, anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
Anybody. The financial freedom that you create for your family, that's the cool part, man. You know what? It's really what it's all about. It's not about, everybody thinks it's all about building some, being a mogul or whatever. Like, I just want to be free. That's all. I just want to be free and be able to wake up at 3:30 and come do this if I want to, or If I don't, I don't, and kind of a thing. And so I'm kidding. I'll always be here. Don't worry, guys. So we're going to talk through some other stuff. We're not, like I said, we bring guests on all the time. We bring advertising partners on all the time. And I think the reason it works is because it's not a big ad. It's not just one big, long ad, because you guys wouldn't want to hear that. You want to get to know Wyatt, and so this is the opportunity to do that. So we're going to talk through some other stuff. We're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. Wyatt will comment where he sees fit. At some point, he's probably going to be like, I thought you said you weren't going to talk about that while I was here. But Wyatt will jump in and have a good time with us. By the way, you got family, right? I mean, you got how many kiddos you got?
I got a little boy, 6 years old.
That's right. I got a little four-year-old. They're fun, aren't they?
Oh, great. That's what we're doing it for, because you know I'm trying to be able to quit my job to be able to wake up. Yeah, and wake up, with my kids and take them to school and pick them up from school and just not worry about it.
That's freedom. That's what it's all about, man. It's and real estate provides a great means of doing that and providing. Dallas is he's a big time investor too. He's a stock guy. He's a day trader. Robin Hood. What'd you buy yesterday, Dallas?
Disney.
Okay.
Disney. Yeah.
Excellent. Dallas this morning was telling me about Disney. He goes, man, one share was pretty expensive for me. It was over $100 a share. I'm like, dude, that's expensive for anybody. For a single share of a stock, that's a lot of money.
For sure. Is that a day trade? Do you day trade?
So he doesn't really day trade. Okay. Let me back up. I was kind of being facetious in that. He trades on Robinhood, which is it's like you should get it. It's a lot of fun. It's like it's an app that's made for people that don't really understand or don't, I don't know, want to jump into stocks without going on E-Trade and putting 10 grand in and doing this and doing that. It's like you get on there with what you throw a few $100 in there and watch things kind of, watch how they work and learn how to do it all. And so does it give you I don't have it. I'm going to download it in the break and then we'll come back and talk about it. But does it have a percentage that you're up? Can you see? All right,
it has all that.
So what are you what are your stats right now?
Let's see. In the past,
because I'm thinking about investing my money in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Let him trade for me.
In the past week, I'm up 7.09%.
Oh, 7% in a week? That's a point a day.
Not bad.
That'd be 365% a year.
Yeah, I used to do penny stocks way back in the day. It was fun, but I didn't make anything.
No, absolutely not. Never. But it sure is a blast. And that's what's cool about Robinhood. It actually allows you to buy fractional shares. So if you want to get in on Apple, you can, but without having to pay $400 a share. Although they just did a 4-to-1 split, so their share price should be down. And if you owned Apple shares, you just got 4x on your share total. But no, Connor, I did want to bring something back up to you too. I just saw an article that came out here, mail-in voting due to is he in there?
No.
Okay.
No, he's not.
I'll come back to that.
Oh, wait. He's walking in as we speak.
That's fine.
He's sitting down. He doesn't know what he's walking into.
No, I haven't gotten started yet. Connor, I was talking to you for a moment, and then Dallas stood up, and he goes, he's not there. But you're there now, right?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. No, you're good. You're good. So there's an article that came out yesterday on mail-in voting in New York. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on this. Due to massive postal failures, New York will count many mailed-in ballots, even if they're not postmarked by the deadline or postmarked at all. So 6 weeks after the election, now we've got New York saying, you know what, all those security measures we put in place, don't worry about it. We're just going to count them. And so I think that is an interesting article to read, considering our conversation. I mean, does that to you signify an issue?
What was the motive? Why? What was the reason? Excuse me. What was the reason for what they're doing?
Because, you want my answer or what they say the answer is?
I'm sure they gave a reason.
Yeah, they just said that the postal service was too slow.
Aren't there concerns about lack of funding, whether the postal service could handle stuff? I've heard genuine speed concerns, but I don't know much about it.
Which creates the genuine fear of widespread widespread issues is that if this is the precedent that we can set, then what it means is the Postal Service the postmark date doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's got to matter. That's one of the main security things that we put into place. I think,
but it's still going to be postmarked by the election, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what they're saying here is they're saying that it's the Postal Service's fault that they didn't get postmark in time, so they're going to count them anyways, which is a humongous issue.
But what if it is the post office's fault?
It doesn't matter. The rules are very clear. It's got to be postmarked by a certain date or it doesn't count. That's one of the security measures that's put into place. So we can't just change the rules because you know why they're changing the rules? I'll tell you why. The person they want to win isn't winning. They're down. The favorite is down by quite a few votes. And there are 12,000 disputed ballots already. So you're talking about 20, 30,000 ballots that are going to either be counted or not. It looks like counted, that by rule, if you look at the security measures we put in place, they shouldn't count, and they're going to count them. And so I just wanted to illustrate that. I just wanted to highlight that because, and again, this isn't like I told you so or tried to prove you wrong. I just want to highlight some of the issues that are truly facing a state right now, like current events as we work through this towards the election, over 400,000 ballots were cast by mail, which is more than were submitted in the entire state in 2018.
Wow.
And they're all legal votes, I'm sure. And so that's one of the issues I have. Again, not trying to. On this show, I take a hard line opinion. Sometimes, certainly, I'm very opinionated. But in this particular debate or conversation, it's really more about just looking at what's out there and saying, hey, because there's not a lot of information, like Connor said. I mean, there's not a tremendous pattern of widespread fraud or this, that, and the other. So I'm trying to highlight everything that we can in real time to help us formulate our opinion. And so, to me, Connor, that would prove to be a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the post office speed concern, so I'd have to look into that a little more.
Yeah, and I would say that it wouldn't matter what their speed concerns are. I would say that what matters is if the rule says it's got to be postmarked by a certain date and it's not postmarked by a certain date, then it cannot count.
But if it's not the voter's fault, then why should the post office be able to not do their job and deprive somebody of the right to vote?
I get that, but what I'm saying is, if assuming that is a we all have tried to use a post office, and we know they don't do their job very well, except for Dan from Madison. He does a great job, Dan, if you're listening. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host, here with producer Connor, DJ Dallas, Wyatt Reed of Reed's Family REI. We will be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Dozens are dead, thousands injured after a major explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. A national day of mourning is declared there.
Mass destruction in the capital of Lebanon after Tuesday's major explosion. Bahar Gattis witnessed the blast.
You can see injured people all over the streets in Beirut. Glass is all over the place. Cars are damaged. It's like an apocalypse. It's very, very, very frightening what's happening now.
Lebanon's prime minister says at least 2,700 tons of the explosive ammonium nitrate were being stored in a warehouse near the scene. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Missouri votes to expand Medicaid coverage. Voters approved a constitutional amendment to expand the government health insurance program to thousands more low-income adults. Missouri, the 38th state to approve Medicaid expansion. I'm John Trout.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them Producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for Producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said, but our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Joe Lockhart, Bill Clinton's former press secretary, now works for CNN. And last week, Lockhart warned that despite what the polls say, that Biden could lose the election. Imagine that. Lockhart gave a bunch of suggestions. Biden should pretend the poll numbers are all wrong, run like the underdog. Biden should focus on turning out key Democrat constituents, blacks, women, suburban voters. And then came the biggie. Lockhart's strongest suggestion is for Biden to not do something under any circumstances. Joe Lockhart says that whatever you do, Joe Biden, do not debate Trump. Sure, Biden would take heat from Republicans, even from the media, but so what? Take the heat, skip the debates. Joe Lockhart says that Biden must ditch the debates because Trump lies, and it's impossible to win a debate with somebody who lies. He ought to know. He worked for Clinton. Come on, you know that explanation's a bald-faced lie, Joe. There's only one reason you're warning Biden not to debate. If he's on the debate stage on live TV with Trump for 90 minutes, there is no way that Biden can hide. There's no way he can hide his decline. He can hide his plugs. There's no way he can hide anything mentally, which is why Biden's team has been hiding him in the basement. Joe Lockhart's the one incapable of telling the truth here. But as Bill Clinton's press person then and a CNN guy now, what's new about that? He's an expert in lying, and Biden doesn't even know when he's in the basement, so what's the big deal about staying there? Sometimes in life it's easy to settle for good enough. But with identity theft protection, good enough isn't enough. Data breaches appear to be happening more and more, placing your data in the wrong hands, and that leads to identity theft. Now, if you're only monitoring your credit, You could miss certain threats, like somebody selling your info on the dark web. LifeLock sees a wide range of identity threats. And if you end up with an identity theft issue, a restoration specialist dedicated to your case will work to fix it. Now, look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all the transactions at all businesses, but shouldn't you have identity theft protection that's better than just good enough? Go to lifelock.com or call them at 800-440-4833. Use my name as the promo code. That's RUSH. Save up to 25% off your first year. lifelock.com. Promo code RUSH, 25% off.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host. Checking in, producer Connor, DJ Dallas, Wyatt Reed of Reed Family REI. Joining us this morning, we've been talking real estate investing. We've been talking Robin Hood. We've been talking mail-in elections. We kind of cover everything. This is really, that's why when you asked me last night, Wyatt, you said, do I need to prepare anything? It's like, no. Come on, man. We're just going to have a conversation. We're over here all getting on some Robin Hood. Unfortunately, it requires like a kidney sample to get your account finished. So I haven't been able to finish my account just yet, but I will as soon as it's over because Dallas is going to get a free stock out of the deal. I'm sure it'll be something great like, Blue Man Capital Group LLC Limited or something. Something you've never heard of. All right. It is time for your favorite segment, the most critically acclaimed segment on this show. Word of the day. Dallas, bring it in here. Hold on a minute. Let me explain to Wyatt. Wyatt said he listened, and he heard Will Billy. See that jet up there? So he knows what word of the day is. But the way this works, Wyatt, he'll tell us a word. He'll spell the word. Connor will then use it in a sentence. Dallas will define it, and then Connor will use it in a sentence. Or part of speech or something. How I messed that whole thing up? Yeah, you say it, you use it in a sentence. Connor defines the part of speech, and then you define it. Got it. All right, word of the day. What is it?
We're going to go with one that actually originated here in North Alabama.
Yeah, Dirty Huntsville.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a
H-Town
argument on whether it started in Huntsville or Madison, but we're going to go with Forf, F-O-R-F.
Okay.
To use it in a sentence, we can go with...
I wave my hair back and forth.
Nope, that's not it.
Wyatt brought that one up.
Yeah, that was Wyatt's joke.
Yeah, I got to cite my source. Sorry.
I didn't speak up quick enough.
You didn't. No, around here you got to be quick.
So we're going to go with Brad said he was coming to the party, but he's not here. He's such a Forf.
Connor, part of speech.
Sounds like a noun to me.
Can it be used in any other way?
No, that's
pretty much it. So it's a noun.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, what does it mean?
It's like it's somebody that says they're going to do something, usually repeatedly, like a few times it's happened, and they just don't do it. So like saying you're going to go hang out with your friends, you don't show up, you're a Forf.
I think we call that crawfish.
Catfish, even.
Crawfish?
Yeah, because crawfish, the way they go backwards. Have you ever seen a crawfish like actually move? First of all, have you ever seen a crawfish?
Yeah, I've seen a crawfish.
Like live. You've touched one, picked one up, handled it.
Oh, no.
In a creek?
I don't think so. No.
You need to get outside, first of all.
I go outside. I just don't do
You need to get off Robin Hood. You need to quit playing Fortnite and go outside and experience. Vitamin D is a heck of a thing. So I'm trying to figure out where in the world this word would have forf. So if your jit forfs you, then they're not really your jit.
No clue what you just said.
Yeah,
neither do I. Neither do I.
I don't think that really made.
I try to get turnt with the new words with my jit over here.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Forf. Where in the world? Who decided that was a good idea to try? Connor, how does this word make you feel?
You know where I stand on this kind of stuff.
Have you ever heard it before?
I have not. No.
Wow, that's actually surprising to me.
Wait a minute. It's surprising that Connor hasn't heard a slang word that probably no one in our listening audience has also ever heard.
I'm sure there's people out there that have heard
this. If you've heard the word forf, and you know what it means, please give us a call. 1-866-494-WVNN. Don't be a forf, okay?
Yeah,
don't be a forf
on it.
Don't forf on us.
Oh, you could say it like that, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't forf on us.
So
that's
then
one thing I find with all these new slang words. They can pretty much, depending on context, occupy any part of speech that you want them to. Noun, verb, adjective, whatever.
How does this segment make you feel, Wyatt?
I like it.
Do you?
I'm going to use it now.
Educational?
I'm going to go to work and I'm going to use it.
Yeah, I wish you would go. Don't forf on work. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a forf. We've got the phones are lighting up. Apparently, everybody knows the word forf or doesn't. We're about to find out. Rick on line 2. Rick, bring it in here.
I'm a teacher. I'm a big old white guy that used to work in an alternative school.
Are you a forf?
No. I think the correct verbiage would be don't be forfing.
Don't.
Yeah, hey, that's actually, yeah, you can use it like that. He's not wrong.
Rick, the big white guy teacher, says don't be forfing. Rick, you, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar, and we appreciate your contribution to the show. On line 3, we've got Tommy. Tommy, don't be forfing.
Yeah, I've actually got an 18-year-old daughter, and it's I've heard it before. It's actually for forfeit.
Oh, that actually makes. Oh, Dallas just had an epiphany.
Crazy. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Thank you, Tommy, for you have brought. So does the word of the day segment, does that become like dinner table talk? There at the house with your 18-year-old daughter. Do you get her to kind of define some of these for you? Because if so, I'd love to have her help Dallas out.
She's always coming up with some kind of weird words, and I find them curious, so I got to know what they are, because there's definitely some strange ones out there.
Oh, no, you definitely do. There's a lot of risk in not knowing what your kids are saying, for sure. But that does make sense. Forfeit, forf. Typically in language, we try to go to like the Latin or the Greek or whatever root of the word. With slang, we try to find whatever actual word it comes from and try to deduce our way. Logic, deductive reasoning is a great tool to be used. Not maybe not in language. Language is a little more exact than that. But in this situation, forfeit, forf, don't be forfing.
I appreciate Tommy a lot for that.
The fact that you didn't. Did anybody else see Dallas's little eyes light up when they? Did you see that, Wyatt? Like he said, it comes from forfeit, and Dallas goes
enlightened.
Whoa!
It made so much sense. I can't believe I didn't.
Put
that together.
The funny part of this is it's really difficult to make sense out of anything that you've said thus far, and so this one is actually something that we can make sense out of, and now we've got some new Don't be forfing, Wyatt.
Oh, I'm going to use it.
You better. Next time you go into a deal and you're talking to a homeowner, a prospective homeowner, and they're like, "I'd like to sell you my house," I want you to look at them and say, "Now, don't be forfeiting on me. Sign this contract."
It's contracted.
Yeah, don't forf on me. Woo! Welcome into Hometown Heartbeat, folks. You're listening to the Word of the Day segment with the smartest man on the radio, Dallas Jones, DJ Dallas Jonesy, whatever you want to call him. He over here forfeiting, jit. We'll be right back. Hometown Heartbeat, 16 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said, but our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up, and you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in, producer Connor, DJ Dallas. Joining us in studio, Wyatt Reed of Reed Family REI. They are a real estate investment company that wants to buy your house. If you have a property that you're just tired of messing with, or it's got some repairs that need to be done, I mean, look, it's obvious now's the best time that we've had in years to sell a house. And so oftentimes you have a house that you've been sitting on a while or whatever. You're like, man, I could really get some money for this, but it's got a boatload of work that needs to be done. That's probably not going to command top dollar on the market, and so you call somebody like Wyatt, and they come in and buy it as is, where is. You don't pay any closing costs. You don't pay any real estate commissions, and 2 weeks from the day that you guys agree, you sign you get paid. Straight cash, homie. So we've been talking a little bit of real estate. We've been talking a little bit of mail-in voting. We've been talking a little bit of word of the day. I'm curious, in our last segment, I'd like to hear from you guys. 1-866-494-WVNN, 1-866-494-9866. We've got a lot of calls today. I'd love to hear your opinion on Dallas's word of the day segment. It's one we really enjoy here. When we left and went to break, Wyatt goes, I'd really like to know what JIT is, because you guys kind of lost me there. So to recap, if your JIT is forfeit, you know what I'm saying, you're in trouble. Your JIT is a JIT is someone whom you have authority over. So we would call it like a mentor-mentee relationship, Wyatt. But it's that's how you say I've got, some influence over you. So your JIT, your 6-year-old JIT at the house be forfeit. You got to ground them. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your JIT at the house be forfeit. So anyways, that is the word of the day segment. And you guys, I believe, really enjoy that segment. We certainly do. The phone calls from the parents and teachers that we've gotten thus far are fantastic. I feel like we are such a resource for this listening audience. That's why we're the smartest show on radio, Wyatt, and you're the smartest businessman in radio for advertising with us. So we hope that you've enjoyed that along the way. We every day try to get better, try to bring you better content, try to figure out how to do this thing because we don't really know what we're doing. But we have a good time trying. Have you had fun today, Wyatt?
It's been good. I enjoyed it. I want to come back.
Well,
maybe
we'll see. I think
you like me.
We'll see if we can. No, of course you can come back, Wyatt. You're the people's champ, man. And so here at the end of the show today, there's an interesting story out there, 2 of them, and I'm trying to figure out which way to go. I'm going to let you decide. Do we want to talk about Iran or the district attorney of Los Angeles? Somebody say it. Iran it is. We'll take Iran for $200, Bob. So Iran tried to intimidate the U.S. with a war simulation on an aircraft carrier. So these guys went out and made like a papier-mâché version of a U.S. aircraft carrier. And actually, we heightened security on bases. This isn't the first issue we've had with old Iran over here. Well, they carried this joker out, simulated some attacks on it, fired missiles on the papier-mâché replica of the United States warship, and then in the process of towing it back to port, they sunk the son of a gun right in the channel in front of their port. So now ships cannot come in or go out of their port, the harbor entrance at Bandar Abbas. I'm sure lots of cruise ships frequent that one. You ever been to Bandar Abbas on a cruise? Yeah, man, we went down there to St. Thomas and Port St. Lucie and all that and stopped in at Bandar Abbas. Never heard that before. If you've been to Bandar Abbas on a cruise, give us a call. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, no one's been there. But anyways, these idiots they tried to intimidate the U.S. and sank their boat right there in front of their main port. And it just goes to show, you don't mess with the old red, white, and blue. You don't mess with the old red. We got too much America in us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we messed them up.
We sure did. Just thinking about towing that joker back had them scared enough to sink it. They literally capsized being towed by a ship. Like, you have one job. There's the can't happen list, or there's a shouldn't happen list and the can't happen list. That's on the can't happen side. I mean, you can't sink the ship you're trying to use to intimidate the largest force on the face of the planet, the most powerful country in the history of countries. Until November, if Biden wins. But that's neither here nor there. I told Wyatt we wouldn't be too political on the show. Oops. But I don't know, man. It just seems like the world's gone mad. And everybody's, what are they mad about? Is Soleimani from over there? Is that what? Didn't they issue a bounty on Trump? $80 million? Wasn't that them? Connor, do you know what I'm talking about?
Zach, so much news has happened between then and now.
Yeah, Soleimani, $80 million. Let's see, $80 million bounty on Trump. I'm pretty sure that was Iran. I think
it was. It feels like years ago, though.
January 11th, 2020. Mm-hmm. Yep. Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, probably the largest actor of state-sponsored terrorism in the history of the world, was taken out by a smart bomb, and they tried to act like he was some love and peace hippie. And then they put an $80 million bounty on Trump's head. Like, oh, okay, that'll work out well for you. You know why they put an $80 million bounty on his head? Because they knew they'd never have to pay out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to think about it.
No, you're not wrong.
I mean, who wants to really give up $80 million?
Are they really going to pay the $80 million, though? That's the thing.
But they wouldn't have. They're never going to have to because it'll never happen.
They're not going to, even if it did, they're not going to.
Of course they are. They shook hands. They made a gentleman's wager.
Okay.
Are they going to fourth on it? Fourth?
Oh, they're forfeiting. They'd be forfeiting on their $80 million. That's good, except for you used proper English and said fourth. But outside of that, it was a good attempt. They'd be forfeiting on their $80 million, yo. Trump and his jits, running around forfeiting. That.
Well, Trump's not forfeiting.
No, you're right. Iran would be forfeiting. I tell you what, their ship forfed all the way to the bottom of the ocean. It jitted straight on down to the ocean floor. Is that what did Will Billy say? Look, that jit up there. I was just texting back and forth with Will Billy. I was going to try to get him to call in today. He's already working. He's a hard-working man, so we're going to try to get him in before the end of the week for sure. Maybe he could call in while my wife's here tomorrow and distract from that debacle.
That would be a good solid option, I think.
I've got to do something. Wyatt, my wife is joining this tomorrow.
What's the conversation?
It's her. I mean, she put out a video yesterday asking for questions from our listening audience to answer about me.
I think it's pretty funny that you waited until she was at work to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. What do you think I am, semi-pro? Like, yeah, of course I waited till she's at work.
He brought it up like the first segment and then hasn't said anything.
I brought it up when she was still sleeping, and then I put it back out there when she's at work. Yeah, I'm not an idiot, okay? I mean, that's, Dallas, when you get married, hopefully... Well, look, if you haven't learned the tools that I've learned, you won't be married long. I know that. So, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, why would you do that if you were me?
Oh yeah,
you would.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a better man than I am. I got too much. There's too many closets full of skeletons that she knows where they're at. So it's going to be good. But you guys need to prepare for that tomorrow if you're listening to the show right now. My wife will be joining us at 5:45 to 6:45. She'll be here for 1 hour. We'll have 4 segments together. And I have no idea what's going to happen. I truly have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. But it was definitely one of those decisions that the moment it came out of my mouth, I'm like, get back here. Get back here. But it wouldn't come back.
No?
I thought she forgot about it. And then on Monday, she was like, so am I not coming in this week or what? I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, they don't forget.
Never. Like an elephant, dude. Like an elephant. You get that?
Do elephants forget?
It does me no good if you don't laugh into the mic, Wyatt. Laugh into the mic. Don't quiet laugh.
Wyatt, I do the same thing.
He does. He'll be over here. I'll make a great joke. He'll be crying. He's laughing so hard he mutes his mic. I'm like, that doesn't help me. Like, people need to laugh, and they laugh if other people laugh. So sometimes sometimes I cue up laughter on the hotkeys and make people think they're laughing.
So what does it mean?
Elephants
they have small
don't forget.
brains, right?
Elephants don't forget anything. Connor.
But you said she forgot.
No, I said my
okay.
gosh. For
Elephants
someone
really
with such an expansive vocabulary, you struggle
really
with.
Don't forget anything, though?
Connor, true or false? Elephants don't ever forget.
Fact check. Elephants don't forget.
Yeah, check it. Is it true?
What?
Fact check it.
I think it's true.
I know it's true. I mean, I guess I've never talked to one that told me that, but
I know elephants, like whenever they, find their one like their soulmate, and their soulmate dies.
You really going there?
They can die of depression.
And in an interview with old Sparky the elephant, he says the reason that he's not eating is he's depressed. He lost his soulmate.
Okay.
That's a fact, I'm pretty sure.
Scientists don't say never forget, but they do say elephants have incredible memories.
There you go. Elephants never forget. I wonder how they test that, honestly.
That was
like, do they play a game
that.
of memory? Like, do they put their big old hoofs on like on the ace of spades, and then they find the other one, or like what? Like, how do they test that?
Are you asking us for real?
I'd like to know how they test that. It's pretty much impossible. Listen, today has been the Wednesday edition of Hometown Heartbeat with Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bold, bearded host. Had Wyatt Reed of Reed's Family REI in the studio. You've heard the commercial if you've been listening, but just in case you missed it, the phone number for Reed Family REI is...
I don't know.
Oh, I got it in my phone. Hold on. It's a 931 number. You can go to reedfamilyrei.org or give them. We'll put it in show notes.
That
put it out on
terrible.
Facebook. It's okay. It's a Google number. We'll put it out there on Facebook. We'll get him back on here in a few weeks. Wyatt, thank you for joining us. Connor, Dallas, as always, it's a real pleasure. We'll see you guys bright and early in the morning, and my wife will be here. Pray for me tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Huntsville's #1 news, talk, and weather station. WVNN Athens. WVNN FM Trinity. A Cumulus station.